Wow, it's time for another show full of tips and ideas from the sales growth leadership expert, Dean Akers. Known for his experience in hyper-growing companies and creating cultures for high-performance teams, here's Dean.
Welcome to your Sales and Leadership Ninja Show. I'm your head ninja, Dean Akers, and again, each week I bring you a rant to stimulate your thinking in the realms of sales and or leadership. We've had a lot of wins this past week, got a lot of emails at help@adjunctceo.com. Again, we really appreciate our listeners. We appreciate them reaching out for questions, reaching out with thoughts, reaching out with opinions, and letting us know. So again, if you ever have any comments or you want us to talk about something more, just reach out at help@adjunctceo.com. So this week I want to talk to you about something that I've witnessed over the last 30 years. And it's more in our leadership realm than it is our sales realm. Although when you learn this in leadership, it'll improve your performance for your sales organization and or your company. So these are thoughts that I have found to be true to increase the performance of your team. So I have found performance of the team comes down to performance of leadership. And what I mean by that, empowering, bracing leaders, the leaders that are that give to their organization, the leaders that stimulate the organization, the leaders that empower the teams to make decisions and grow the organizations are the ones that have typically the highest level of success and profitability, growth, and ultimately in exits or financial transactions. So I want to share today something that I've used for years that has boded very well for me and for companies I've used. It's called the Organizational Climate Questionnaire. And it's a questionnaire that developed 35 years ago when we were trying to really find out what was going on in our company. And the reason we wanted to find out is as a leader, a lot of times we start believing what we think our people think. And in most cases, that's actually not what happens. So we developed this 10 question scenario that we send out to our team members. Now we give it to them with an envelope with a stamp on it already addressed back to the office. This really promotes, and I can't even say the word, but the anonymous responses. And I'll tell you why that's important. I actually did this electronically about 7 years ago, and my participation dropped. And I can only guess that the reason it dropped is people felt like even though they were submitting it on their computer anonymously, that somebody could track it back to them, and quite frankly, they could. These are done manually, and they're sent in, they're computed, and then the results are given. But you never know who did them because there's no name, and they're on self-addressed envelopes that you've provided. I'll give you an example of some of the questions. The first question is, my company encourages me to come up with new and better ways of doing things. Question 2, my company and bosses appreciate me. Question 3, I have all the tools and resources I need to be successful. Question 4, I feel the company keeps me involved and informed with what's going on. Question 5, I feel that the company provides me with growth opportunity and my future is clear. Question 6, I feel the company has good pay and benefits. Question 7, I feel the company treats everyone equally and that opportunities are made available to everyone. And then question 8, my company gives me clear goals and empowers me to do them. Question 9, the company understands I have personal problems and helps me with them and is empathetic to them. And then finally, question 10, when the company needs to correct me or discipline me, I feel they do it in a fair, constructive, and with intent in helping me to improve and get better. Now, I've read all 10 out. If you want a copy of this and the process, just again, reach out to me at help@adjunctceo.com and our team will send one right back to you, all the things you need to do. We'll even help you do it the first time. Now, the reason this is important, when most companies do it, and I sit with the leadership and we talk about it and we say, they go, oh, I know how my people are going to answer. Well, here's an interesting question. Number 6, I feel the company has good pay and benefit programs. I would say that 90% of the CEOs I meet, when we first talk about that, they think that's going to be number one or two biggest concern, or that's going to be the biggest thing they want to see improved on. Pay and money is always in the bottom half. The biggest ones that I find continually, and I mean almost the point that I can predict it every time, is I feel the company keeps me involved and informed with what's going on. And then I feel the company treats everyone equally and opportunities are made available to everyone. And 3, my company gives me clear goals and empowers me to do them. Wow. Think about what I just shared with you. Number 1, I feel the company keeps me involved and informed with what's going on. How many times do we assume our team knows what's going on? And then I actually meet CEOs and they go, well, if I give them this information, they'll panic. Or if I give them this information, they'll know what I make and they'll be jealous. The answer is no. And these continually come out. What's interesting is in the lower segments is my company and bosses appreciate me. A lot of people think that would be higher, but it's not generally very much in the higher thing. And again, the pay is always the lowest. Here's another interesting one that over hundreds of these I've done that's always very low, and it means that they feel that the company does do this, by the way, when the delta's low, and the company understands that I have personal problems and helps me with them and empathetic. Now that's cool because most CEOs and stuff said, man, I really care about my people, and they genuinely do. This promotes the thought process that their people feel that too, but they're missing huge opportunities in this process because this always shares where they think we are as a company and where they want us to go. And it's the difference that makes this stack ranking 1 to 10. So when you think about this and you think about leadership, what you want to do is take advantage of this and reach out to me at help@adjunctceo.com, and I will send this to you. You can have your HR people do it. If they score, one of our folks will be happy to give you an overview, absolutely no charge. This is so important. What's interesting is I've seen these deltas go down and these issues being dealt with by leadership, profitability, growth, and success start going up at rapid rates. That's right, you heard me. Profitability, growth, and success go up by rapid rates. And it's all in how your people are feeling, and more importantly, it's all in how you're engaging them. So, again, if you're an executive with your company and you want to grow, I dare you to reach out at help@adjunctceo.com. Give this questionnaire to all your people blindly. Let them send it in with a self-addressed envelope so that you don't know who did it. We'll score it. Our team will score it out for you, and this will help you be more successful in sales, growth, profitability, and valuation. So until we see you next week, get out there, send this in, help@adjunctceo.com. Say, Dean, I need a copy of the Organizational Climate Questionnaire. This will help your company. If you're a leader and you haven't had the guts to do this kind of thing, I've been doing it for years. I promise you results. Thank you and have a great week.
We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Subscribe today to our podcast and send questions or thoughts to help@deanakers.com. Also, visit us at www.deanakers.com to listen to prior shows and view helpful videos. Also, great tips to download. Thanks again. See you next week.